Lord, so you were still there when Pac got there?
Yeah.
You were still there.
I was still there. Yep.
And you got to
I
meet
was still
Pac and
there. 'Cause see,
everything.
Pac was already on Interscope. So he's
Yeah.
already on the mother company anyway. You understand? So that transition was like, whoa, there was no problem. You know, no conflict of interest. And I got to meet Pac uh, on a couple of different occasions. And the way me and him developed a relationship, it was really dope, is because back in the day, I used to have a female group that danced for me called YNV.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it was very beautiful girls. And Pac used to like a few of them. He ended up kicking it with a couple of them, you know what I'm saying? And that relationship with him and my dancers is what got me around him more. You know, one time we were in a studio called Echo Sound, world famous studio. So many big people have been in that studio. And working on his material. Pac was doing his new song, and that's the first time I got to smoke a blunt with him. And you know, I got to know him a little bit. And his birthday is the day before mine. His birthday is June 16th, mine's June 17th, you know what I'm saying? So we kind of vibed on the fact that we were Geminis and our birthday was so close together, and you know, we respect each other as artists and as people as in general, you know what I'm saying, personal and business. It was real dope to get to know him, because I mean, he's arguably one of the dopest MCs that ever touched the mic as well, controversially, you know what I'm saying, lyrically. So that's a blessing too, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that all happened with YNV, man. Which YNV, Tasha from YNV, sung on a lot of Dr. Dre's material. So it's a trip how the circle is, you understand what I'm saying?
Everything was entwined, basically.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because Tasha sung on a lot of his records, man. Sure did. I got love for everybody that was over there. I have a problem with nobody over there, man. It was such a blessing, you know, with some of the negative media that follows Death Row and the negative things that you hear about them. All I have is positive things to say, you know.
Yeah.
They showed me so much love and embraced me, man, like family, brother. That's like my family away from home, you know.
Yeah. And
I
you were
mean,
all about
shit.
you were all about the music, so that's, you know what I mean. It seems like when people talk about Death Row, it's like it's not even about the music.
Yeah, it's about all the political and
Yeah.
the stuff other
The drama,
than the music.
yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Man, the music of Death Row was spectacular, man. You know, a lot of people don't know that Death Row is in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most income generated for a new business, man.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's a lot to say, man, about a new company.
So what was your relationship with Suge at that time?
Well, you know, man, Suge is my boy. Suge showing me so much love. Suge is like, he's like an uncle to me. He's kind of like an uncle or a big brother, you know? Every time we've ever interacted, it's always been peace, you know, with me and Suge. It's always been him asking me if I'm ready to get my money right and get paid, which I loved, because he, you know, Suge is about bread, you know, and he made a lot of money for a lot of people, you know. And a lot of people have differences on how the business was done, which I don't know all the in particulars, but for me personally, he made me a part of the biggest soundtrack in movie soundtrack hip-hop genre history,
Yeah.
which is Above the Rim, you know, and allowing me to be there and work, you know, from all those brothers, Daz and Dre and all the people that were responsible for that time that let me have some. I'm so appreciative. You know, I can remember even with Suge one time, because we've had several meetings, and I always wanted him to give me a release date, which he wasn't able to do because he had a lot on his table, you know.
Yeah.
So for whatever reason, he wasn't able to give me that, but he said, I'm still going to work with you, Lord, because you dope. And so he still let me be a part of Above the Rim, which is a blessing. And one day, Dre had a party. Or maybe I should say Death Row had a party. I don't know if it was Dre's party in particular, but they rent out different mansions around the country to have their parties in. People rent their houses out. And this particular house was up on a hill. So they had it where you park down on the bottom, and then you get in a shuttle, and it drives you up to the party. And man, the party was off the chain, man. We was having so much fun. and Malik was there, Snoop was there, Regina King was even there. I remember she was there. And this is a long time ago, before Regina King had the accomplishments that she has. It's for Snoop, me, everybody. You know, we're talking, man. You know, you're almost talking. Let me think about this. 93, 203. You're almost talking 2 decades.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, wow. But I never saw Suge at that party. And I had a young lady friend of mine with me named Kristen. I remember this clear as day.
Mm-hmm.
And we were leaving. And at this particular time when we're leaving, you know, the party is still going. We stayed about 4 or 5 hours, and we about to leave. And there's several people waiting for the shuttle to take them back to the cars. And there was so many that you would have to wait for maybe you would have to probably wait for the shuttle to come back a couple times.
Yeah.
So we just said, come on, we gonna walk. You know, I had my drink in my hand. We just walk up the hill, or down the hill rather, and go to the car by walking. And so we just started walking. And we're walking. And then this car comes creeping up real slow. And it creeps up behind us and on the side of it, and it's Suge. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, man, what's up, Suge? He like, Lord G. How you doing, brother? I'm like, I'm doing excellent, brother. How you doing? He's like, oh, just chilling, man. He said it once again, he stayed on that money. He said, you ready to make that money? And I said, I certainly am, brother. And then he said, you want me to give you a ride up the hill? And I said, nah, brother, we cool. You know, I had me and my lady friend, and he says, something like, she need to let you get on her back. And I don't know what he meant by that. But he looked at her and she didn't say nothing. And then he looked at me and I said, if I had to, she would, brother. And he said, you, Lord G, you a cold piece. And we shook hands and he rolled on off, man. That's one of the memorable moments I remember with Suge. It was the funniest thing.
Yeah.
You know, I'll never forget that, man. They spent a lot of time in Skip Saylor, Larrabee, East and West. Because one of them is on Santa Monica Boulevard. The other one is somewhere else.
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of working in both of those. They worked in one called The Village,
Yeah.
which is a really nice studio.
I think all those studios
Paramount.
you're talking about, that was all like the dog. Because if you go on the Doggy Style credits, like you're right, The Village,
Yeah, they were all over,
Larrabee,
man.
yeah.
Paramount, Entourage. You know, I remember being in Entourage one specific time with DJ Quik. I can remember being at Skip Saylor with DJ Quik. Me and him, we got along really well. Quik showed me a couple of tricks too.
Yeah.
He's a really dope, talented brother as well. You know? Definitely.
Yeah. Oh man, so you got to chill with Quik.
Can-Am too.
Yeah.
Yep. Quik taught me the difference between the API board and the SSL and the Neve.
Yeah.
You know, he told me that years ago. He said Quik likes to work on the API. The API has a warmer sound. It has more bottom end warmth. SSLs and Neves have more high-end digital crisp end. So he told me back then, I never forget, he said the Isley Brothers work on the API. That's why I like the way they shit sound. Isley Brothers shit be banging too, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a story with Quik that I'll never forget.
At one point, Dre started backing up a little bit as far as you know, like towards Above the Rim, Murder Was the Case. It wasn't like everything that came out of Snoop was produced by Dre. Did you see that little, I wouldn't say split, but that, you know, the start of that little separation?
That transition right there.
Yeah. And,
You know,
and at the same time, what were you doing during that transition time?
I was so busy focusing on what I was doing and trying to do my thing, and Dre used to let me go through his records.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, shit. You can ask any DJ or MC or any motherfucker that make beats in the world what they do for the opportunity to go through Dr. Dre records.
Yeah.
The shit he got in his motherfucking crate. You feel me? Man, he got some shit in there with them Fruity Loops and them Skip to My Loops and all that shit with them man, shit. I was so caught up in going in there and trying to make my way from the front to the back of them damn crates. You know?
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention to the tumbling and what was happening around me, because I'm a soloist. I'm kind of like almost on some, that's the way I am by nature. I roll through the streets all the time by myself. So a lot of times I would be in the studio, I'd be by myself. Or I might have some of my brothers in there, we blowing, they in there while I'm making beats and shit, you know. But as far as being around the artists and what was happening, I was in that studio just working. And before I knew it, man, it was already, you know, because I mean, I was going to be Death Row's first and only conscious artist. That opportunity by itself was, you know, beyond fathoming. I didn't even imagine no shit like that. I didn't even call home to Detroit to tell people that shit was happening because I couldn't even believe the shit.
Yeah.
So I knew if I called home, let's say that motherfucker on some kind of drug, you know, they wouldn't believe that shit, man. You over Dr. Dre house. Yeah, right. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know if I believe motherfucker telling me that, because, you know, so many people lie to say that kind of shit, but this shit is actual factual, you know, so it was just overwhelming for me, man, being there.
Yeah.
Sometimes I look back on it and wish I could have been filming it all, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
That would have been extra dope, you know? It's like, but all that stuff, all those things were like doorways or segues into other realms. Because even after that started to happen, I used to get, as it started to happen, I would get access to the studio more.
Yeah. They
would say, "Gee, the studio's open," and it'd be open 2 or 3 days in a row. You know what I'm saying? Shit, what's going on? Because normally, you know, it wouldn't be open like that. It'd be people in there recording. So I knew that something was happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.